Donald Trump narrowly escaped what could have been the most notorious assassination attempt since that of John F. Kennedy. The FBI was able to identify the assailant as Thomas Matthew Crooks, who came perilously close to fatally shooting the former president. Despite the harrowing event, Trump emerged defiant, fist raised high, leaving onlookers to ponder the motives behind the attempt on his life. Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Pennsylvania, was apprehended following his attempt to assassinate Donald Trump at a Butler County rally. From Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, Crooks fired a gun towards the stage where Trump was addressing supporters. Secret Service agents responded instantly, neutralizing the threat Crooks posed before he could inflict further damage. Tragically, a stray bullet grazed Trump's ear, and a rally attendee was fatally wounded. Trump later detailed these events on social media, extending his condolences to those affected. Alerts about a suspicious individual with a firearm on a nearby roof were unfortunately too late. The shooting had already commenced. Subsequently, investigators found an AR-15 rifle near Crooks's body. Crooks had a history of concerning behavior. During his high school years in Bethel Park, he was such a poor marksman that he was asked not to return to the shooting team after his initial tryout, where he missed a target by nearly 20 feet. Described by his peers as reserved and a loner, Crooks was often subjected to bullying, which further isolated him. His yearbook photo showed a seemingly innocuous young man in glasses, suspenders, and a T-shirt adorned with the American flag, masking the turmoil beneath his calm exterior. After completing high school, Crooks worked as a dietitian at a nursing home in Bethel Park, providing care and nourishment to the elderly and infirm. His employers reported no issues, describing him as a reliable employee, which contrasted starkly with his actions at the rally. Crooks' target was Donald Trump, the leading Republican candidate, though his attack tragically resulted in a bystander's death instead. The incident left those who knew Crooks stunned, struggling to reconcile the quiet, introverted young man with the violent actions at the rally. The FBI swiftly identified Crooks, raising questions about his motivations given his background and the proximity of his hometown to the rally location. He had graduated from high school in 2022 and was recognized for his academic achievements with a $500 award. Although registered as a Republican and slated to vote in his first presidential election, Crooks had previously shown support for progressive causes, hinting at a complex political ideology. The motives behind Crooks's actions remain unclear, blending potential political discontent with personal grievances. His case draws parallels with John Hinckley Jr., who attempted to assassinate Ronald Reagan in 1981, driven by a deranged effort to gain actress Jodie Foster's attention. Hinckley's actions were influenced by his obsession with the film Taxi Driver, in which he emulated the protagonist, Travis Bickle. Hinckley had previously alarmed authorities during Carter's presidency by appearing at a campaign event armed and was arrested but quickly released. He escalated his efforts by arming himself and attacking Reagan, causing national alarm as the situation mirrored past presidential threats. The digital speculation around Crooks' motives varied wildly, with theories ranging from calculated political disruption to a desperate bid for infamy. Trump used the ordeal to rally support, celebrating his survival as a divine favor, while the incident provoked widespread media and political scrutiny. Questions about security lapses were raised by Bob S.S., a former CIA officer, criticizing the Secret Service's failure to prevent Crooks from firing at Trump. The presence of explosives in Crooks' vehicle added to concerns about the extent of the planned attack. Congressional inquiries led by Mark E. Green sought answers from Homeland Security regarding the oversight, emphasizing the gravity of the security breach. This incident evoked memories of Reagan's assassination attempt, revealing persistent vulnerabilities in presidential security protocols and reminding the public of the ever-present threat to national figures. The parallels between Crooks's actions and past assassination attempts underscored the ongoing risks faced by political leaders, reflecting the deep-seated tensions and divisions within American society. After initially refusing to interact with the media and responding with no comment to questions about their son's motives for attempting to assassinate former President Donald Trump, the shooter's family found themselves thrust into the spotlight. This culminated in a series of disclosures that pieced together the context of an incident that deeply unsettled the nation. This situation has left the public grappling with critical questions, particularly how the assailant accessed a seemingly secure location and why there was no prior warning of his presence, despite him being visibly positioned on the roof during the dramatic events. The date of July 13, 2024, almost entered the history books as the day of a nearly successful assassination of a former U.S. president who was also a candidate in the upcoming Republican elections. During a rally in Pennsylvania, as Donald Trump delivered his speech, a bullet narrowly missed him, grazing his ear and drawing blood before the Secret Service could hustle him to safety. Tragically, in the chaos, a bystander lost their life protecting others, and 2 more were injured but survived, while the assailant was quickly neutralized by the Secret Service. The perpetrator was soon identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, whose background began to unravel, revealing a more complex narrative than initially perceived. The events of July 13th marked a significant lapse in Secret Service operations, the most critical in recent decades. The intrigue deepened when Crooks' parents shared startling details about their son and the potential catalysts for the tragic day. The complexity escalated when it was discovered that on the morning of the assassination, Crooks' parents, Matthew and Elizabeth, concerned for their son's mental state and unaware of his whereabouts, had contacted the police to report him missing. This police alert was among several indicators suggesting that law enforcement was aware of potential issues before the gunfire erupted at Trump's Pennsylvania rally. Another disturbing revelation was the origin of the AR rifle used by Thomas during his assault, which was legally purchased by his father. This fact calls back to December 2012, when Adam Lanza used a similar rifle from his mother in the Sandy Hook Elementary massacre, sparking a surge in firearm sales amidst fears of stricter gun control laws. Interestingly, Matthew Crooks, recognized as the 2013 purchaser of an AR-type rifle while his son was in elementary school, could not have foreseen the weapon's eventual use. A decade later, his son, using that very rifle, fired several shots in a failed attempt to assassinate Donald Trump. Further investigations revealed that Thomas Crooks had researched various subjects online, including the venue of Trump's speech and a local gun store where he purchased ammunition that day. There were also claims that he left a message on the gaming platform Steam, indicating that July 13th would be his premiere, hinting at his planned actions. Stored in the Crooks family home, where Thomas and his father were presumed members of the Clerton Sports Club, a facility boasting extensive ranges for archery, rifle, and pistol shooting, were more than 20 legally owned firearms. This detail mirrored the case of Ethan Crumbley, another young shooter whose actions at Oxford Middle School ended tragically. The revelation of explosives in Thomas Crooks's vehicle near the rally site further complicated the narrative, underscoring the severity of his intentions and raising alarming questions about the extent of his parents' knowledge and their potential complicity. These events have sparked a broad discussion about gun violence in America and the responsibilities of parents in monitoring and controlling their children's access to firearms. The ongoing investigation by the FBI seeks to uncover the full scope of Thomas Crooks's motives and whether his described status as a lone wolf holds true. Amidst a backdrop of parental confusion and societal concern over the signals missed by those closest to him. The Crooks family's ordeal and the subsequent legal and ethical questions surrounding their actions and awareness highlight the complex intersection of family dynamics, legal responsibilities, and the pervasive issues of gun control and mental health in the United States. The situation began with the Secret Service's refusal to grant former President Donald Trump's request for additional security. While the Secret Service had denied several requests for heightened protection, this alone does not signify an inherent vulnerability. Then, on the day of Trump's assassination attempt, the shooter's actions raised questions. Witnesses reported spotting someone on a rooftop, laying down and evading the Secret Service. In a dramatic turn, FBI Director Christopher Wray took the stand in court to provide startling details about the assassination attempt. This has led to speculation about whether security agencies might be concealing a more sinister motive. What are the implications of these revelations? Let's explore the FBI Director's apology and court testimony. When the world learned of the near assassination of former President Trump, the shock was immense. The shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, managed to graze Trump's ear with a bullet due to the president's timely head movement. Crooks was subsequently shot and killed by Secret Service agents on the scene. This incident prompted a swift response from authorities trying to uncover Crooks's motives. Weeks later, more shocking details emerged as FBI Director Christopher Wray testified about the ongoing investigation. The surprising revelation was that the assassination attempt might not have been solely the work of crooks or a group of extremists, but potentially involved a more complex network of individuals with possible foreign connections. Although Director Wray did not specify names, he hinted at the involvement of foreign intelligence agencies. Before the attack on Trump at his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, the FBI and Secret Service had received threats from Iran regarding Trump's life. This intelligence, received around July 13, 2024, pointed to an Iranian plot to assassinate Trump in retaliation for the killing of General Qasem Soleimani. As a result, the Secret Service increased security around Trump. The White House National Security Council also ensured that Trump's campaign was aware of the evolving threat, and resources were allocated to enhance his protection. The threats against Trump were not unprecedented. Iranian threats had been tracked for years. These threats were seen as part of Iran's revenge for Soleimani's death. The FBI director's testimony revealed that, following the assassination attempt, Trump had been targeted with explosives found at Crooks's home and car, and a remote transmitter was discovered on him. The investigation into the attack revealed that Crooks had searched for information about Trump's rally and scoped out the venue prior to the event. On July 13th, the day of the rally, Crooks purchased ammunition and visited the rally grounds, where he displayed suspicious behavior. He used a drone and was seen on a rooftop, carrying a rangefinder. A local counter-sniper spotted him, but was unable to act due to personnel shortages. Crooks managed to evade capture and fired 8 shots into the crowd during Trump's speech. Trump's quick reaction, turning his head at the moment of the shot, resulted in a bullet grazing his ear rather than causing a fatal wound. Crooks was ultimately shot dead by Secret Service agents. The attack resulted in the death of a spectator, Corey Comparator, and critical injuries to 2 others. The Secret Service faced intense criticism for its failure to secure the building from which Crooks shot. The agency's director, Kimberly Cheadle, faced backlash for denying additional security requests and failing to address basic questions during a congressional hearing. Cheadle resigned on July 23, 2024, amid calls for accountability. The fallout from the FBI director's revelations included increased scrutiny of both the Secret Service and FBI. Leaders from both political parties demanded swift action and legislative changes to strengthen national security. The investigation continues, with potential for further court hearings, testimonies, and indictments. The assassination attempt has been described as the most serious against a U.S. president or candidate since Ronald Reagan's shooting in 1981. The FBI's findings have opened numerous questions about security protocols and potential oversight failures. The implications are significant, with ongoing discussions about whether the FBI and Secret Service need a complete overhaul to prevent future threats. The FBI director's testimony has sparked various conspiracy theories, with some suggesting the attack was staged. Accusations have also been directed at President Joe Biden, with claims that political rhetoric contributed to the attack. Additionally, the Iranian government has denied involvement, calling the accusations unfounded and maintaining that they seek legal justice for Soleimani's killing. As the investigation progresses, the central issues remain. Were there failures in the security protocols? How can such incidents be prevented in the future? For now, only time will reveal the full extent of the consequences and actions taken in response to these revelations.